Hello, everyone. I am Phoenix Tremaine, and this is going to be me talking about Monique. But before we get to that, if you haven't taken an opportunity, please subscribe. I have two YouTube channels, Web Series and Movies, and Phoenix Tremaine. And I've decided to put a little more energy into my YouTube channel. I haven't done some videos in a while. I've actually been focused on other social media like Facebook, where I've got like a huge following. But I've decided to do the subjects that I would normally do on Facebook or my other social media platforms like Tumblr, and actually bring it to YouTube. Hopefully, you will enjoy some of the subjects. You might like it. You might disagree with me. You might agree with me. Most people agree with me. And we're just going to talk about some stuff. And one of the subjects I'm going to be talking about on Facebook is Monique. Now, Monique has been very controversial, having spoken out about Lee Daniels, Oprah, Tyler Perry being blackballed. And, I mean, she has a right to do that. I'm not faulting her for just like not rolling over and letting people, walk all over her and bringing these situations onto the public eye so that people understand why you're not seeing her in more movies and TV shows and different things like that, even though she's gotten her Oscar. And so I'm not going to fault her for talking about the different issues she's going through. That's what social media is for. But a lot of people really just aren't feeling her right now. She does have a fan base. If she's out in the comedy club circuit, she's probably going to sell out. So, she's doing good on that behalf. But her latest rant, I think it was on Instagram, was that she went to Netflix to negotiate a deal to do a comedy special. Because if you look at Netflix, I mean, they're dropping comedy specials left and right. You got Dave Chappelle, you've got Kevin Hart, you've got Cat Williams. I woke up this morning, saw an advertisement for Cat Williams stand-up special. So, Monique wants to get in on this, and they offered her $500,000, which to a lot of people is a lot of money, but for Monique and the things that she's done, she feels like she's a comedy legend, just like Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, and that she feels she deserves to be compensated just like any other comedy legend. And she even points out that Amy Schumer was paid $11 million for her stand-up special, and she renegotiated for $2 million. So she got $13 million for her comedy specials. Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle got $20 million for their comedy specials, and she only got an offer of $500,000. And she says that she wants us to boycott Netflix, and because they're color biased and gender biased, because they didn't want to offer her more money. Now, first and foremost, I'm not boycotting Netflix. I enjoy Netflix. Netflix, they have plenty of black programming on there. We have, more and more new shows coming on that features black people, not just in America, but from the UK too. So, including the Chewing Gum one, which focused on the black actress that I really just saw her act in one of those Black Mirror specials. Shows. So, Monique wants us to say, okay, side with her and boycott Netflix if she doesn't feel like she's gotten enough money offered to her. Now, I'm going to call the BS card on this one, because Monique said that when she inquired about, her and her husband, inquired about why Amy Schumer, a white woman, got $11 million, and she was only being offered $500,000, and they said, well, Amy Schumer had a hit movie, and she's done the different things, and the movie said, well, wait, here's my resume. I've had this hit sitcom. I've got an Oscar. I deserve more than $500,000, and they pretty much told her, well, that's all we're offering. Take it or leave it. So she's now on social media saying we should boycott Netflix. But, I see Netflix's point of view. When it comes to someone like Amy Schumer, I'm not a fan, but I know who she is. I know she had that hit movie, I can't remember the name of it because I didn't watch it. And then she had that big old flop with Goldie Hawn, Snatched, last year. I also didn't watch that. But I know that she also had a TV show, and that a lot of people are following her because she's relevant, now. I mean, she's somebody who's doing things right now. But when you look at, Monique's resume, it's not very good. As far as like what she did in the past, sure. She did the Parkers, she was in Precious, and she won an Oscar, but that was 10 years ago. Monique hasn't, she says she was blacklisted, and Monique really hasn't done anything significant. I mean, Blackbird was a flop, and you can't say Blackbird was a flop because it had a gay theme or gay main character, because Moonlight just won an Oscar, last year. And not only did Moonlight win an Oscar, but, it was like one of the biggest movies, that sort of crossover with like, gay or SGL people. So, if Blackbird could have been a Moonlight if it was good, but it wasn't really that good. And then, she had that Christmas movie, This Christmas, I think it was the name of it. And that was also another flop. I don't know if they made their money back from it, but it was okay. I fell asleep on it twice. But it wasn't a comeback movie, and that's what Monique needs. Monique needs a comeback. She's still resting on what she's done. But as one person in the comment section said, well, what have you done for me lately? People respect what you did in the past, but they want to know what you're doing now. What are you doing now that's going to make the audience want to click on your special? Because even though I'm a fan of Monique's work, I wouldn't necessarily be in a rush to watch her comedy special. I just wouldn't. It's just how it is. But if Tiffany, where her name is, Tiffany Haddish, did a comedy special, I'd probably be on it quick, and I'm sure Netflix would probably offer her more than $500,000. But she's current, she's hot, she's now, she's new, she's the girl everybody's talking about. She had a great SNL episode, and she was in this movie called Girls Trip that was huge. And I'm a supporter of good black cinema, and I'm a supporter of good black artists, and I would love to be a supporter of Monique, but I just feel like that, she needs to be on her grind, and she needs to make a comeback, meaning she's got to get that role that make people go, she's back. Not, okay, here she is again, but she needs that standout role, whether it's something dramatic like Precious, or whether it's just laugh out loud funny. And This Christmas, or whatever, I think that's the name of the movie, that wasn't it. But, and I couldn't find my Moonlight Blu-ray. I hope nobody stole it, but, I wanted to show that I do support, black people, just like support a lot of independent black artists and promote independent black artists. I've got my Get Out Blu-ray. I've got my Insecure DVD. Even though I watched the show, I still wanted to support Issa. And, of course, I got Girls Trip. I've seen it twice. So, So, when it comes to Monique blaming colorism, color bias, and gender bias, I have to call BS on this because Netflix is paying how much they think you're worth. Okay, they do not think Monique at this moment in time is worth millions of dollars, and that they're gonna bring in viewers and get people subscribing to Netflix because here's Monique. But this is why I'm calling BS on color bias and gender bias, because Shonda Rhimes was making $10 million a year at ABC. On Netflix, and this is a black woman, she's making $25 million a year. She's got a 4-year deal, and they're offering Shonda $100 million. So where's the gender bias or the color bias when they offer you $500,000 because they felt that's what you were worth, but they offered Shonda $100 million? Will Smith left Sony, and he got 11 million views in one day for the movie Bright. Whether you liked it, whether you hated it, people wanted to see it. It's Will Smith, and it's a draw. It's an attraction. Even when people heard it was bad, since it's on Netflix, they're like, well, I already have a subscription. I'm going to watch it anyway and get my own opinion about it. So his production company, Overbrook, left Sony, and they're making deals with Netflix for more movies. And with Shonda Rhimes, they're doing something they don't do. A lot of people don't do nowadays. They're giving her money on the back end. So not only is she potentially going to make $100 million in over this 4 years, but she's going to make money off of the back end of the shows she creates, which is something that I think wasn't happening at ABC. This was like Deadline.com that I was looking at, which is a good source for this type of information. And, if they're willing to pay Shonda $100 million, they're not color biased and they're not gender biased. Period. They just feel like, just because you got an Oscar doesn't mean people care. If you think about it, okay, you got an Oscar, but so did Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei went from A Different World to My Cousin Vinny. She got her Oscar, and then we didn't hear from her for years. And that's not the only actress and actors who have gotten Oscars and then their career didn't take off. Some said they even had to work harder because they didn't feel like they could do rinky-dink comedies to make some quick money or anything like that. They had to do Oscar type pictures, and so having an Oscar is good, but it doesn't guarantee you a paycheck. Look at Octavia Spencer. Octavia Spencer's out there grinding. She did a stint on Mom. She had a TV show that got canceled, Red Band Society. But I see her in small movies. I see her in big movies. I see Octavia Spencer working. And I see her all the time. So whether it's the small screen or the big screen, but when it comes to Monique, I don't see her grinding. Not to say that she's not. I'm just saying I don't see it. I know she's doing touring on different comedy shows because she said that in one of her other rants on Instagram or YouTube, whatever it was. But, and I'm sure she makes lots of money from her stand-up comedy tour. But as a consumer, when's the last time you've been on a sitcom? When's the last time you did a movie that was relevant? So I can understand why Netflix offered $500,000. It's because you're starting over. You're older. It's been a while since you've done anything significant, and you don't have a proven track record like Will Smith, or Shonda Rhimes. So Netflix gave you what they felt you're worth at this time. Now, if you were trying to make a deal with Netflix 10 years ago when you got your Oscar, then you would get Amy Schumer type money. But Amy Schumer, not Snatch, but the movie before that made over $100 million. So, Trainwreck. Yeah, I just remember the name of the movie. But the movie Trainwreck made over $100 million. So yeah, they gave her $11 million. So only thing I can say to Monique is, we need you to make a comeback. We need you to grind. We need you to get out there and, I hate to use this word, be humble. But, even Mariah Carey fell from grace and had to claw her way back up to the top, although she fell back down again, and then she got back up again. In America, they bring you up to the top, and then they watch you fall down, and then they wait to see if you can get back up. And that's where Monique is now, just like many celebrities before her that got to the echelon up to the top, tumbled way back down. Look at Halle. Halle's got an Oscar. I don't see her doing like big movies like she used to. And, she's done Kidnap, which is a horrible movie. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Now, I love The Call. I've seen The Call like 4 times. So I had high hopes for Kidnap. That crap. I'm trying not to cuss on YouTube, but that crap was horrible. So Halle's kind of fallen from grace too. And yes, she has an Oscar. So, Halle's just is in the same boat you are. She's got to find that project, that movie, that TV show. Because her TV show got canceled after 2 seasons too. So she's got to find that project that brings her back up to prominence. Get her back on that A-list. So it's just how entertainment works. You just got to keep grinding until you retire. So they offered you $500,000. I wouldn't have gone on Instagram and asked people to boycott Netflix. You already burnt bridges with Tyler Perry, Oprah, Lee Daniels, and now Netflix. Good gravy, man. Come on, Monique. You need better management, and you gotta stop speaking for yourself, or at these meetings, or whatever. You need to get a management team to get in there and negotiate the deal for you. You probably didn't even have to be at Netflix if you had the right manager until it's time to sign a contract. Get people to negotiate for you. You got to do things differently. And I mean, you probably cuss me out, not mad at me for saying what I'm saying, but I'm just like, I want you to win. I want you to win. I'm not a hater. I just want you to realize that you need to find that comeback role before you start asking for boycotts of once you start saying, hey, well, Netflix didn't try to give me enough money, so let's boycott them. You think Hulu's going to be like, we want to make this woman an offer and she's trying to get people to boycott, other subscription services? I mean, you got to make smart decisions and leave the ego behind, because that's what it really looks like at this point. Not colorism, not gender bias. It just looks like Oscar went to your head. You got a huge ego. You got a lot of expectations. And in the entertainment world it's not what you've done before, it's what you've done now that they look at. That's it. So I'm hoping for you that you'll be able to make a comeback and you'll make the money that you want to make, and you're very talented. I love your drive. I love your comedy, but you need that comeback role, and I really do hope you get it, because you deserve to be higher up on the comedy echelon for the things that you have done. And I used to enjoy your comedy specials in the past, so I know that if you got a comedy special, you'd be funny. But if you want the money, then you're gonna need to do the grind, and not the grind from the past. You need to grind now for the future. And that's all I got to say on this. Hopefully you'll follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I'll have all my social media links, and so you can see more of things like this. I also have a subscription service, UnitedCreatorsNetwork.com, where I'm uniting different independent creators, submitting that work to my network. So hopefully one day we'll be bigger than Netflix. But and then we'll be able to make Monique an offer. But right now I can't make her the money she offers she needs right now. So I got that Oscar money to give people. But hopefully you like this commentary, and there's a lot more to come. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and thank you for watching.